Welcome to this final episode of the War of 1812 series, where we'll be exploring the aftermath of the conflict and its impact on American society and politics. As the Treaty of Ghent was ratified in February 1815, the United States entered a period of rapid growth and expansion, marked by a sense of nationalism and optimism. One of the key developments during this time was the era of good feelings, characterized by a decrease in partisan politics and an increase in national unity. This era saw the rise of the Democratic-Republican Party, led by President James Monroe, who would go on to oversee a period of significant territorial expansion. The party's platform emphasized the importance of westward expansion, economic development, and a strong national defense. A significant aspect of this expansion was the Adams-Onís Treaty, signed in 1819, which established the border between the United States and Spanish Florida. This treaty marked a major milestone in American diplomacy, as it demonstrated the country's ability to negotiate with European powers and assert its claims to territory. The treaty also had significant implications for the Native American tribes living in the region, who would eventually be forced to cede their land to the United States government. The Rush-Bagot Agreement of 1817 was another important development during this period, as it demilitarized the Great Lakes and Lake Champlain, reducing tensions between the United States and British North America. This agreement marked a significant shift in American foreign policy, as the country began to prioritize diplomacy over military confrontation. The agreement also had significant implications for trade and commerce, as it allowed for the free movement of goods and people across the border. The era of good feelings was also marked by a growing sense of nationalism, which manifested itself in various ways, including the development of a distinct American culture. Writers such as James Fenimore Cooper and Washington Irving began to explore themes of American identity and history, while artists like Thomas Cole and Asher Durand created landscapes that reflected the country's natural beauty. This cultural awakening was also marked by the growth of education and literature, as Americans began to develop a sense of pride in their national heritage. However, this period of expansion and growth was not without its challenges. The Native American tribes who had allied themselves with the British during the War of 1812 found themselves increasingly marginalized and excluded from the benefits of American expansion. Many were forced to cede their land to the United States government, leading to significant social, economic, and cultural disruption. The Indian Removal Act of 1830, signed into law by President Andrew Jackson, would eventually lead to the Trail of Tears, one of the most infamous episodes in Native American history. As we reflect on the War of 1812 and its aftermath, it's clear that this conflict marked a significant turning point in American history. The war itself was a defining moment in the country's development, as it tested the young nation's ability to defend itself against a major world power. The Treaty of Ghent, which ended the war, provided a framework for American expansion and growth, setting the stage for the country's emergence as a major world power. In conclusion, the aftermath of the War of 1812 was marked by significant developments in American society and politics, including the era of good feelings, the Adams-Onís Treaty, and the Rush-Bagot Agreement. These events reflect the complex and often contradictory nature of American history, marked by both great achievements and profound challenges. As we bring this series to a close, we're reminded that the War of 1812 was not just a conflict between nations, but a defining moment in the development of the United States. Thank you for joining me throughout this historical journey. Until we meet again, I'm Herodotus, reminding you that history isn't just a story, it's our story. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.